It's unimaginable that it's been 9 years since I first started working out. Even though I'm not physically where I want to be right now, I'm definitely a lot closer than I was 9 years ago. So let's rewind and go on this journey together. So before we go on this journey, let's start off with what put me into the mentality that I need to change the way I look. So back in 2008, in my 11th grade biology class, my biology teacher basically was telling a story, and he compared myself to a scrawny person in his story. It wasn't condescending or anything, but I definitely didn't want to be compared like that again. So our fitness journey starts off in 2011. I was roughly around 19 to 20 years old, weighing about 155 to 165 pounds of skinny fat. What skinny fat is basically you're skinny, but yet you have a gut. So my arms were like twigs, my chest was flat, I had a gut and love handles, and I hated how I looked. I was able to pinch my love handles and pinch a few inches of fat, and I really didn't like that. So early in the year, I started working out at home. I was too scared to go to the gym because I was insecure about my body. I had no idea where to start. So what I did was I basically went online and I was looking at home workout programs. So there was a viral workout program going around on the internet during that time. And that workout program was called P90X.
About what you can't do, it's what you can do.
That's P90X, people.
It was a video program that you followed to every day. You didn't need a lot of equipment, which is why I decided to try out this program. I was a broke 19, 20-year-old student at that time, so whatever cost little to no money, I guess. It was a great balanced workout program in my opinion, and maybe I'll do it again sometime in the future. My workouts would last around an hour and a half, and after a few weeks of working out on this program, I started to see a change in my body. And at this point, I was hooked. In the summer of 2011, I had told a buddy of mine that I've been working out at home. He invited me to go and work out with him at his local gym, and he offered to put me on his family membership plan. So we started going to the gym consistently 3 to 4 times a week. We really didn't know what we were doing, so we were basically there for 3 hours every single day. I kid you not. We would take 5-minute breaks in between sets, just talking and stuff. Yeah, we did like 10 exercises, 3 sets per exercise. So that's like roughly around, I guess, 2.5, 3 hours of just like rest periods. Even though we didn't know what we were doing, we were consistent, we were slowly progressing and pushing ourselves to lift heavier weights. My family decided that we'd be traveling to the Philippines at the end of the year. So I had a goal of getting lean and looking the best by then. By the end of 2011, I was able to drop from around 155 to 165 pounds to around 140 pounds. I packed on some muscle and lost some weight. My family in the Philippines applauded my transformation, which gave me the motivation to keep pushing forward. In 2012, my workout partner and I basically stayed consistent in the gym. Nothing really changed. We were just consistent and slowly progressing. In April 2012, I graduated college. I started working for my parents, and in my free time, I just worked out and watched fitness YouTube videos. During that time, there were a bunch of emerging fitness YouTubers such as Matt Ogus, Chris Jones, Mark Lobliner, Big J, Mike Rashid, Bar Stars, and Bar Brothers. I got hooked mostly on the last two, which was Bar Stars and Bar Brothers. I got hooked on calisthenics, doing muscle up, pull-ups, push-ups, pistol squats, anything you could do with body weight exercises. Back in those days, calisthenics wasn't as big as it is today. I remember watching grainy videos of Hannibal for King doing things that seemed basically impossible with his body. You know, he'd be doing like levers, flags, and stuff like that, and I thought it was really cool. I guess a big reason why I wanted to do calisthenics was for my own ego. I mean, if I was watching these fitness YouTubers and basically praising them, I'm sure that when people saw me doing things like that, they'd be praising me. So it was kind of an ego thing back then. When I would do muscle ups, a lot of people would come up to me asking me about form, how long it took to learn, things like that. I really liked the attention. So I basically did muscle ups almost every single day I went to the gym, which is freaking stupid. So I eventually got injured. I was doing a muscle up, I heard something pop in my left arm and I couldn't hold the bar. So I eased off calisthenics and I leaned to more weights. So by the last quarter of 2012, I got a job at a college. I broke things off with my workout partner and I basically started to go to the gym alone. So I basically started to go work out at the college where I used to work, and I became friends with a group of powerlifters and got introduced to powerlifting. By the end of 2012, I started focusing on the big three movements of powerlifting, such as bench, deadlift, and squats. And that basically ended off my 2012 year. So in 2013, I tried to get back into calisthenics, but it just wasn't the same. I was able to fully recover after my injury after taking a few weeks off in 2012, but I was scared to get injured again this year. So I focused on powerlifting and basically maintaining my weight for half the year until I re-injured myself doing muscle ups. I know, how stupid can I be, right? This injury felt a lot worse. I remember doing the muscle up, feeling something pop in the same arm, and then getting down from the bar. I tried grabbing a vertical pole to try to stretch out my arms, and I basically couldn't even grip the bar, and I couldn't make a fist at all, and it was really bad. I went to the ER. Luckily, they said that everything was okay. I probably just pulled something, so I wasn't too concerned about it. Even though I was injured, I didn't stop going to the gym. At that point, I became obsessed with training legs. I started training legs every other day until my arm got better. I became obsessed with powerlifting at this point, and I packed on as much weight as I could. I emphasized weight because I gained a lot of fat during the second half of the year. I went from roughly 150 pounds in July to 180 pounds by December. In the beginning of 2014, I was 180 pounds, and I wanted to use that weight to improve my lifts as much as possible. So a year prior, in 2013, my max for squats was probably around 2 plates at around 225 pounds. By January of 2014, after powerlifting in 2013, I had hit a max of 315 pounds.
Push! Push!
Nice, man.
I looked big, I was somewhat strong, but I felt like gaining 30 pounds in that short amount of time made me feel like crap. So what I decided to do was I just wanted to cut down for the summer. So I cut down to roughly around 165 to 170 pounds. During that summer, I recall missing the weights that I was squatting when I was bigger. So I decided to be as strong as I can at around 165 to 170 pounds. I started a famous workout squat program called Small Love. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's a 13-week intensive workout program specifically for legs. So you squat 5 to 6 times a week from what I remember for 13 weeks. So by the end of Small Love, I was able to increase my squat from 350 pounds to 375 pounds. That's where I ended off 2014. So 2015 to 2016, these are 2 years that were really bad for me. After a few years of working out, I basically got tired of it. I moved out of my parents' place in early 2015. I had a weird work schedule. I'd work from 3:30 p.m. until 11 to 12 p.m. 12 p.m. during exam periods. I kind of loved this shift, but it wasn't good on my relationship or my internal clock. I'd go to bed every day at roughly around 4 to 7 a.m. in the morning, wake up at 2 to 3 p.m. and go to work. So during this time, I went to the gym at roughly around 12:30 in the morning to 1 o'clock, and I'd basically stay there until 2 in the morning to 3 in the morning. And I basically worked out with little to no motivation at all. After doing Small Love at the end of 2014, I tried Small Love Junior for bench. So what Small Love Junior is, it's basically a 1-month chest strength routine. So I wanted to increase my bench as fast as possible. This was the fastest way that I knew how to do it. I ended up getting my 3rd injury in 2015. I ended up with a partial pec tear in my left pec. This demotivated me even more from going to the gym. I canceled my gym memberships and I just started working out at my condo gym with no goals at all. Even though I had no goals, I was able to put on some size. But yeah, these 2 years were probably the most depressing years of my life, and I can't really remember what happened during those times. So if there's one good thing to come out of 2016, it was that I got a dog. and she basically helped change my life around. She was basically the driving factor in my life during that time, and I can't thank her enough for that. You know what they say, right? Dog is a man's best friend. With the newfound motivation that I had, I got back into the gym and I was hooked again. I got a gym membership and I started working out with the intention of building size and gaining strength. Some people might call that power building. So I'm a bit older now and I wasn't increasing the weights like I did previously, but I mean, I was happy, I was improving, and I was looking better, so there's that. So once again, I was going to the Philippines in the summer of 2017, and I wanted to take this opportunity to look the best I can. So I started to diet down, I started consistently going to the gym and tracking my progress. This is what I looked like in the summer of 2017. So I was around 155 pounds. I wasn't shredded, I wasn't chunky, but I was lean and I was happy. I slowly gained weight after coming back from the trip, and I stayed at roughly around 170 pounds for the rest of the year. But I mean, I was happy at where I was. Going into 2018 was pretty hectic for me. I just recently got engaged in December of 2017, and I was busy for most of 2018 preparing for the move down to the United States. I'm originally from Canada, so yeah, I was basically preparing paperwork and preparing to move countries. Basically, life pretty much took over most of 2018 for me. I was still working out, but I wasn't working out consistently. I had to devote my time to other things. So yeah, I definitely lost some size. In December of 2018, my wife and I traveled to the Philippines to meet my extended family over there before I moved to the US. I took all December off, focusing on packing, planning the trip to the Philippines, and moving. I went from 170 pounds in the beginning of the year to roughly 160 pounds at the end of the year. So this is a picture of my wife and I on Christmas Day. If you compare it with the picture previously, you can tell that I've gained some weight. We were eating a lot in the Philippines, so I definitely gained some water weight. I moved to Georgia in early January, and I basically took the whole month off of exercising to focus on getting accustomed to the South and to do more paperwork. I started going back to the gym in early February, and I basically dedicated all of 2019 to growth. I wanted to grow and get back on track to where I was before. I was determined and ready to tackle this year with full force. I was hitting the gym consistently and I was slowly increasing the weight. By the end of August, I was around 170 pounds, newlywed, and I was ready to finish the year off strong. September through December, I focused on a push-pull leg split, gaining size, gaining strength, and completing multiple 30-day challenges. By the end of 2019, I was able to pack on roughly around 15 pounds, and now I'm hovering at around 185 pounds. So here's a quick transformation. The picture on the left was taken in December of 2018, and the picture on the right was taken in November 2019. So you can definitely tell the difference in my face. I definitely gained some weight, but that's where I want to be, so. So we're here now, it's 2020, and it's been a week since the new year, and I'm excited to see what the new year has in store. I'm going to continue my journey on power building and leaning out to see what I built back in 2019. I'll be cutting weight for a wedding in June, so stay tuned for that. Looking back on this video, I've definitely had a lot of ups and I've had a lot of downs, but the most important thing to remember is to improve and not dwell on the past. Embrace your mistakes and learn from them. Everyone has a different fitness journey, and I'd love to hear how you guys started, your trials and tribulations, and your accomplishments. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, stay tuned, peace out, and grow.